Traces of gunpowder. It would appear that Monsieur Lavoisier's gunpowder was taken to the Bastille.
They're after us. You must carry on, I beg you.
I'll never make it. I'm out of breath.
Pour amour de Dieu. Suzanne, just a bit more. We're almost there.
The Ottomans ravaged the church and slaughtered the faithful.
give way.
Right, Susan! It's too late!
Jack! No!
Young, they're back.
It's going to be all right. This machine is alone and the door is barricaded.
It won't hold. Did you see how easily those demons entered the church?
Don't be afraid. I mean you no harm.
Oh, Senor, he can speak.
What do you want with us, Automat?
What happened in this church?
You should know. It was your kind that slaughtered these lambs. I don't think those who were able to escape stand much of a chance either.
Where are the survivors?
They're hiding in the catacombs behind the church.
There's also the gentleman that the automats took alive.
Where did they take the gentleman?
We haven't the slightest idea.
That's enough questions now. Leave us be, Vertu.
I'm getting closer to Les Invalides. Here, I should be able to cross the moat easily.
The debt was no longer sustainable, Your Majesty. Your mechanical revolution has changed the face of the kingdom, but the coffers are woefully empty.
The debt, Monsieur Necker. This debt that you and your banking friends helped to create for your own benefit, and which is now forcing us to levy new taxes. Will my subjects be able to bear another tax?
Yes, Your Majesty, as long as it is distributed fairly. The representatives of the nobility, the clergy, and the Third Estate must come to an agreement. That is why we have convened the Estates General. Tomorrow you are to preside over the opening ceremonies.
Your Estates General. Nothing good can come of it. You have roused the spirit of rebellion. All I hear about are their damned cahiers de doléances. My rightful enjoyment is being challenged. The streets of Versailles are teeming with loudmouth fanatics with sacrilegious thoughts. Tell me, Monsieur le Ministre, have you purposely set this army of the unwashed against me?
Your Majesty, I have always been your most faithful servant.
Beware, Necker. Beware. I have a surprise in store for anyone who dares attack my throne.
Suzanne, my dear Suzanne, take my hand, please. Don't let them take me away. No. Oh no, this has to stop. I don't want to be tormented anymore.
That is not my intention. I have come to rescue you.
Rescue me? But what on earth are you?
It is of no importance. What did you see and hear before you regained consciousness?
I had frightful visions, rageful wraiths filled with pain and sorrow. And it was cold enough to curdle the blood. Oh, it's impossible to describe. All the rage and anger. I was in another body, I think. So big, so powerful. And there was this commanding voice, ordering me to spread terror and death. Did I really hear it? Or did I momentarily lose my mind?
Who are you, monsieur?
Don't you know? I'm Jacques Necker, Ministre des Finances. Well, I was before I was captured. But this situation suggests that the king has decided to dismiss me from his service.
What does he accuse you of?
My alleged connivance with the Third Estate, no doubt. And, most of all, for having been the first to ask to convene the Estates General.
How and when were you captured?
When the machines attacked, my wife and I fled our home to hide not far from there, in the Église Sainte-Marie. But we didn't stand a chance against the machines. They overran the nave, wantonly mowing down the faithful. My wife, my poor wife, she wasn't able to escape. I'm sadly convinced of this. As for me, my life was spared only so I could be tormented. What is the meaning of all this?
What will you do now?
There is no future for me in this kingdom. I need to find a safe place where I can prepare for my departure as soon as possible.
I will take you to the Cordelier convent. You will be safe there.
À la bonne heure, she's back.
Aegis, what a joy and relief to see you again.
Monsieur,
Welcome to our stronghold. I'm sure that everyone here is aware of the great debt we all owe you. As you can see, the most exhausted among us are growing stronger.
While the most determined are already planning our counterattack.
I did not expect to see you all together.
4 days ago, the representatives of the Third Estate gathered in a tennis court. They swore not to separate until they had established a constitution. But that was not the only oath we swore. All the honorable men who were at Versailles, representatives and patrons, secretly swore to meet here if they were dispersed.
You, Aegis, have allowed them to, though unfortunately many are missing.
Why did you choose to meet in this convent?
It was my idea. Voyez-vous, I stay here whenever my obligations bring me to Paris. No other retreat inspires such peace and contemplation. Et puis, truth be told, this building has always felt like a fortress to me.
For 2 whole days, the patriots in the quarter consolidated the outer walls to make it, and no automat has broken through our defenses yet.
Where are the monks, mon père?
They are secluded in their quarters, praying for the salvation of the people of Paris. However, we bear no ill.
And we are unarmed. Without you, without your warrior...
You are sent by heaven above, Aegis. From now on, you may consider the Cordelia convent.
We must speak, you and I, in private, if you please. Monsieur de Lafayette must not hear a word of what I'm about to tell you.
What do you mean? You all seem to be certain that I will use my strengths to serve your cause. Are you forgetting that I have a task to accomplish?
Not at all, madame. We all know and support your plan to free Monsieur de Vaucanson. That is why I've taken the time to think of a way for you to get to the Bastille.
I am listening.
There is a patriot in Paris whose pamphlets have aroused Monsieur de Lafayette's ire. His anger is so strong that the poor man had to disappear to escape arrest. I know that he is secretly hiding in the quarries in Montmartre. A labyrinth he is said to know like the back of his hand. If anyone can help you navigate the obstacles that keep you from the Bastille, it is the elusive Monsieur Marat.
Very well. I will go and find him. Monsieur Necker.
I owe you my life, madame. So I am embarrassed to ask you for anything more.
Do not fear.
Suzanne, my beloved wife. Despite all the evidence, I still hope to see her alive. Mon Dieu. What have I done to deserve such a fate? After everything I've done for him, my abnegation.
Why would the king owe you anything?
I dedicated my life to... I refused to accept any remuneration for my services in order to keep the accounts balanced. And I personally filled the king's coffers with 2.5 million bonds in the Caisse d'Escompte, which the king keeps in a tailor-made armoire de fer in the Palais des Tuileries. He stores all his secrets there. I'd wager there's enough in there to sully his reputation 100 times over. You must retrieve these bonds post. They must not be used to allow this madman to build more.
Do I have any chance of opening it?
Don't even think about it, madame. Despite your incredible... It was designed precisely to that effect. I suppose that its contents were too unofficial for the honest min...
Who has the key?
The king does, that's for sure.
Anyone else?
How could I know? His shadow advisors, most likely. Now that I think about it, there's a rumor that has been going round Versailles for a while now. It's said that Monsieur de Mirabeau used to come and go as he pleased at the Tuileries, that he oversaw diplomatic missions for the crown. Not in any official capacity, of course. Who knows? He might...
I will ask him. I will look into what...
Bless you, madame.
Where should I start my investigation?
In the Faubourg Saint-Germain, east of Les Invalides. We were separated in the Église Sainte-Marie, on Rue de Bourgogne.
I shall be off.
You are the only hope of seeing my beloved wife again, and of foiling the plans of the clockwork...
Monsieur Necker.
Madame? Eh bien...
I'm not done.
Don't give up. I remember. That's in the As for the book...
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Have you found my mother?
No.
Remember,
Minister Necker claimed...
that old story. Will it hound me until I... This, madame, is nothing but an unfounded rumor. That I am... To what do I owe the displeasure of having to defend my...
I must get hold of some documents that are kept in an armored...
What lock could resist your talents?
Minister Necker said it was in...
Oh, I see. Well, let me think. Who could... After all, a lock is nothing more. Nothing that can resist the expertise of our dear... Why don't you ask him for help?
I'll be sure to do so.
Now, who else might be of use? Oh, there's Monsieur Lavoisier as well, our gunpowder commissioner. I'm sure he'll have no trouble finding you some...
Good. I will go and find him.
Now, if you'll forgive me, I have an...
You are forgiven for...
In that case, it has been...
Eh bien. Do you come bearing news?
No.
I have it on good authority. He's the only person who could...
Is your plan to arm the
Oh, far from it, madame. Even if they were armed and formed into battalions...
Why is that?
Most of the strategic points in the city are inaccessible. They are seized by an irrational fear. One so great that those who do... This makes it impossible to do anything. Any attempt...
The locations you... A statue holding a lantern.
That's right. From what little I could make out, they appear to be depictions of a Vestal Virgin watching over the sacred fire.
Une lanterne des morts.
What do you mean, monsieur?
Lanterns of the dead. Ancient stone pillars that are found. Our ancestors kept a fire going on top of them. Today, no one knows what they were used for. A symbol of light. Others claim that human bones, mercury, and some odious sorcery that was meant to entrap the tormented souls that wandered around the burial grounds.
That makes sense and confirms my observations. I'm now certain that the King's lanterns capture the anima essence of the dead who have been cast into purgatory. And that this essence is what allows the automats to stay in motion, without needing a key to wind them.
Pater noster qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum.
Now that I think about it, madame, you obviously are not subject to the harmful effects of these lanterns.
No, au contraire. When activated, these statues reveal an apparatus that allows me to repair myself.
It follows that if you destroy these lanterns, the people will be free to fight again.
Unfortunately, they are preternaturally strong. Nothing can so much as damage them.
Come now, no metal is indestructible. If we knew what these lanterns were made of, perhaps I could find a way to destroy them.
Take a look at this ledger, Monsieur Lavoisier. It contains a list of metals. I found it by the factories, near Vaucanson's workshop.
Let's see. Steel, molybdenum, very good. Tiens, donc, tungsten and zirconium. This master blacksmith knows his trade. These metals can be used to make the strongest alloy imaginable, as long as you have a fortune to invest.
For that, our clockwork tyrant knows no bounds.
Well, Monsieur Lavoisier, is there any way to break this alloy?
Break it? Certainly not. But a mineral acid could change its structure. Melt it, perhaps. I would recommend sulfuric acid, or vitriol, if you prefer to use its common name.
Where can I obtain some vitriol?
I had some, but my laboratory at l'Arsenal was ransacked. I can't tell you any more than that. You should ask my colleague, Monsieur Bailly. He uses similar substances in his research.
Monsieur Lavoisier,
What can I do for you, Aegis?
I would like to access the contents of a safe that is supposed... Dare I ask for your help, Monsieur Lavoisier?
And how can I be of
I need gunpowder to break...
Gunpowder? But I don't have a speck of it. Do you think I just walk around with
Oh. I apologize.
Mirabeau? What is this ridiculousness? I suspect he knows Where is the animal? So we can ask him...
He has left. He had an urgent matter to...
Eh bien, I'm sorry. If I could inspect the safe and determine what metal was used in its fabrication, but given the circumstances, I'm sadly...
I understand. The clues I...
Diable! You must find a way to get there and...
Where can I obtain...
I had some, but my laboratory... I can't tell you. You should ask my colleague. He uses similar...
Goodbye, Monsieur Lavoisier.
Did you find out what Cagliostro was up to near the Tuileries?
No.
Remember what Monsieur de Mirabeau told us? He said the Count looked extremely busy.
I'm looking for a way to... Monsieur de Mirabeau advised me to ask you for help.
But I'm an astronomer, mon enfant. I know my way around lenses, filters, racks, but I've never given a moment's thought to how a lock... God, Monsieur de Mirabeau was joking with you, that's all. Où est-il, ce brave homme? So that we might...
He has left.
Excuse me? Do you mean he left the convent? That's madness. What was so important?
Intriguing indeed.
Did you find out what Cagliostro was up to?
No.
Remember what
Would you happen to know...
Sulfuric acid? Of course. Combined with sea salt and green copperas, we use it to polish the lenses of our telescopes. But I don't know how much we... You would need to go to the Louvre and take a look at the observatory's storeroom to find out.
If you will allow me to.
Of course, madame. Here is the key.
Goodbye, monsieur.
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Has anyone seen Monsieur de Mirabeau?
Monsieur Raymond.
Aegis, we are very pleased to see you again. It was very unwise of us to leave the Société without such a capable body. It is a miracle that we...
What do you want to...
Have you ever heard of the Club de Massiac, Aegis?
No, monsieur.
It's an association that meets at the Hotel de Massiac, just west of Les Halles. Those from Saint-Domingue and the Petite Santilles are most formed. They are waging a war of influence to keep the slave trade going, and resort to the vile. They worship nothing but money. Regrettably, my interests occasionally require me to suffer. 2 months ago, I was in Le Havre to settle some business with the Admiralty, when I overheard a conversation between two planters from Bastère. If they are to be believed, the Club de Massiac is plotting to create sleepless slaves, des esclaves sans sommeil. Those were their It's hard to say what this could possibly mean, but I fear they plan to administer some foul drug to their slaves Our organization will not let these poor souls endure. Aegis, we must look into this. It is a...
You speak of greed, Monsieur Raymond. But could you enlighten us as to what makes you any different from the plant?
What exactly do you accuse me of, Monsieur de Robespierre?
Do you not also exploit the labor of these poor souls yourself on your indigo plantation?
I fight every minute of every day to improve...
If that's the case, then why wait? You preach abolition, yet you continue to lie. The truth is, you refuse to upend the established...
It's easy to criticize from a top... What would happen to all these people if I freed them tomorrow? I would be condemning them to the most abject...
It is true that this reform is not so difficult. I've begun it myself. There you will not find slave and...